Good morning and welcome back to Coffee and Headlines, our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at. I'm peaking. I see my microphone levels may be a little bit too hot. I'm gonna leave them as they are. If it sounds distorted, please let me know. Happy Thanksgiving to our American friends that are going to be celebrating Turkey Day today. And for the rest of us, it is a nice day to get going with work and business as usual here in Puerto Vallarta. And of course, this is Coffee and Headlines. Um, you came to the right place. If you are an English speaking local that is looking to better connect with our destination through headlines from our city, from our state, from our country, through interesting and insightful commentary on culture, on mundane things, um, maybe not so much um, well, never mind. No, what? Que never mind, ni que ocho cuartos. Yesterday, we had a minor meltdown because one of our viewers was ruffled because after asking a very non-specific question, this viewer got a very non-specific, snarky answer. We can't please everybody, and we're not mind readers here. And we do the best we can to provide as much information as we can. And yes, some people get ruffled and leave, and that is unfortunate. But then the other side of that is that people continue to be kind to us through membership and coffees and things like that. So, things balance out in the end. I see that Dave is asking no chat today. That is a strange comment, given the fact that I'm seeing your comments without a problem. And as always, we will get to your comments in a second. Let's see what else. Today is Thursday, November 25th. We have all kinds of news today, and we have a special section of Roll Your Eyes news. There are some things that I found today that are so stupid and so amazing and so moronic that we are not going to have a choice but to roll our eyes, or I'm going to invite you to roll your eyes. Lots of comment about Thanksgiving I see, and I want to acknowledge it because it's important to many in the cluster. This is American Thanksgiving, not Canadian Thanksgiving. No gravy, no turkey for me this year. It's a regular day, business as usual. The main sources that I've used in the past for take-home Thanksgiving are no longer available, and I have work to do. I want to get ready for tomorrow, which is our Pitillal Day. So I think my way of showing thanks is through staying busy and staying purposeful and staying useful. So kindly pass the gravy amongst yourselves while we find other creative ways to say things. In all seriousness, I am so grateful for this project. I'm grateful and thankful for my friends and thankful for the opportunity to reinvent myself, and it is an opportunity that everybody has at your disposal to be creative, to do what you can with what you have, and that's my very improvised, put together Thanksgiving thought for the year. Gobble gobble, everybody! But first, let us take a quick look at yes, the news, and let me start by saying that. Well, let me roll the news first. Every murder is a tragedy. Every murder is a tragedy. But for better or worse, high profile murders sometimes become more effective instruments of change as they capture the attention of more people, from regular citizens like you and I to our country's top levels of government. In that spirit, we remember that 1 year ago yesterday, 29-year-old real estate mogul Felipe Tomé was found dead near a Nayarit highway after having been picked up against his will 3 days prior somewhere along Francisco Medina Asensio, allegedly due to unspecified real estate disputes. Regretfully, Jalisco's state prosecutor, excuse me, Gerardo Octavio Solis, acknowledged yesterday that in 1 year there has been no advances on this tragic event that took place 1 year ago yesterday. Then there was the case of the former Jalisco governor Aristoteles Sandoval. You may recall he was murdered at a restaurant across the street from La Isla on December 18 of last year. Governor Alfaro was questioned about this case during his Puerto Vallarta visit just a couple of days ago. And the news here are somewhat more encouraging, with the governor stating that the case is solved in a sense because they have identified the perpetrator but haven't apprehended him yet. Unsolved cases, missing people, and bodies found here and there continue to be the bane of our governor's existence. Moving right along, we have this headline that has to do with one of the most popular, for the lack of, well, not popular, one of the most recurrent complaints that the city gets has to do with the malfunction of public lighting. And of course, public lighting goes bad and our security goes bad. And of course, when this is brought up to our mayor says, well, it helps us a great deal if you report this. But this news item does not tell us anything about how to go about this, which is why we did a little bit of homework. And I remember that a few days ago, I saw this post coming from the local government. And here is all the information you need if you want to be a good resident, a good citizen, and you want to report that a public light fixture is not working. All of them have an identifying number, as you can see on this little graphic. So you figure out what the number is, and then you call this number, and you say, come fix this thing because it ain't working. So that is what you want to do whenever you find a situation in which a light fixture is not working. So I thought I would share that with you. Are we at roll your eyes section yet? Oh, no, not yet. A little bit more echo from our governor's visit. Probably the one statement that has rung the most of all the things that our governor stated in his press conference is when he said, I have looked at the federal budget and there's no money earmarked for Puerto Vallarta for next year. And of course, we know that the relationship between our governor, Governor Alfaro, and our president, Andrés Manuel López Obrador, has been tense. Not unfriendly, tense, if anything, because our governor has been very consistent at not removing the finger from the button when it comes to making sure that our president delivers what he promises. And of course, we mentioned yesterday that our president delivered from federal funds, or promised rather, from federal funds, a bridge, the Puente Federación, and a major overpass, both of which are not contemplated for this year. So, of course, this has been replicated in a number of headlines. Gobierno federal no mandará ni un peso a Vallarta en todo el 2022. The federal government will not send a single peso to Puerto Vallarta in all of 2022. All we can hope is that by our governor mentioning this, there will be a modification on the federal budget and we can see some of our projects that are funded by federal money come to fruition during the coming year. Let us understand, of course, that there is a difference between projects that belong to the federal government and the projects that belong to the state, and of course, the problems that belong to the municipality. And now I'm going to wing it because a lot of of our roll our eyes news today have to do with things that are better just talked about rather than reading notes. And the first one has to do with our dear friends, the neighbors from Colonia Versalles, who went and met with our mayor. And of course, it is interesting to know that every colonia, every neighborhood has what is known as a junta vecinal or neighborhood association. Versalles has one, and the representative of this neighborhood association went along with her posse to visit with the mayor. And of course, they're concerned about the trash. They're concerned about the caca water. But you know what they're concerned about? They are concerned about the fact that now the sidewalks are too wide. I mean, you cannot please them in any way. And I have an alter ego for this section of eye rolling news. Check her out. There you go. So you're damned if you do, and you're damned if you don't. Heaven forbid we should have wide sidewalks. Heaven forbid we should be able to walk and enjoy our neighborhoods. So that was eye rolling news number one. Oh, and there's more, of course. Let us beat this old drum once again. There will be no pilgrimages, no processions, no massive dances without authorization of the health board. We've been saying this ad nauseum. Well, a headline for this morning is many Vallartenses say they will participate in the processions. Okay? So this is one of those things in which I told you I wouldn't bring it up. But again, we won't find out whether this is happening. Where did my... Ah, here she is. We will not find out whether this is happening or not until it happens. But one of the fascinating things about this is that, the news item says that locals claim that the pilgrimages are traditional. They're a Catholic tradition. And of course, we are ruled by Catholics. Our Constitution says that, we have to put Catholicism above anything else. So place your bets. Will we have pilgrimages or not? Who cares? I'm staying home. And there's more. Are you enjoying this? My eyes just hurt from all the eye rolling. This one I really love. And I think my friend Catherine will appreciate this. And Michael Buford will appreciate this. Well, not this, but the eye rolling part. So this news item is fairly innocuous, very innocent on its own. It says that the canals along Los Tules Avenue have been cleaned by the city. And that's lovely. Tules, by the way, means sedges. And Los Tules implies that it's a road that is part of a place where there's a lot of sledges. But wait for it. This is a great example of Puerto Vallarta lack of foresight, or dare I say stupidity. Yes, I am slightly unhinged today. I apologize. But check this out. Here's the map, okay? So Avenida Los Tules. Here is Plaza Caracol. Here all the doctors that we visit. Here is Avenida Los Tules, and that's where the photo was taken, where um, Mayor Michel was standing. And just as a reference, here is Freddy's Toucan in Fluvial. It's on Avenida Los Tules. Now, let's say I wanted to walk from this point or anywhere along Avenida Los Tules to Costco or Carl's Jr. or whatever over here. It takes about 10, 15 minutes to do that walk. It is not so far away. And further down here, we find that there's Bonito Kitchen, and there next to it is Michael's Siam PV restaurant. But we know this is called Avenida Los Tules. And 15 minutes away, do you know what this avenue is called? This avenue is called De Los Tules. So you see, there are streets with same name in Puerto Vallarta, in colonias that are kilometers away from one another. So there's no confusion. But if you want to go to Freddy's Toucan, you go to Avenida Los Tules. If you want to go to Michael's Siam PV, you need to go to Avenida de Los Tules. So a little de is a difference that your cab driver may or may not comprehend if you're taking a cab ride to either one of these restaurants. So there you go. A little bit of Puerto Vallarta colorful stupidity for you on this lovely Thursday. Let me wear out my little cohort. Let's see what else we have. More eye rolling. Sure, why not? The Cuale vendors are going back to the market. Apparently, they have gone back to the market. They had to go back yesterday by midnight. I'm not going to roll my eyes for these. Oh, thank you very much, Dave. That totally is perfect. Thank you. What a difference a day makes. The best pun ever. I mean, it's stupid to think about the fact that. Okay, enough of that. Anyhow, back to the vendors. The vendors say they are going back. The vendors say they're not going back. They may have gone back. They may not have gone back. Why do I know? Thankfully, I'm not looking to buy any kind of local Mexican made in China chingaderas right now. And now I bring you to the crown of eye rolling. What the fuck? Ugh, I don't even know how this happens in my dear Mexico. In the state of Guerrero, check this out. A family went into a deal with another family. I'm the mother of one of the families, and I said to the other family, you know what? You give me 200,000 pesos, and my 15-year-old daughter will marry your 16-year-old son. Deal? Deal. So the two families made a deal over an arranged marriage between minors, and they decided to go and throw a huge party. Yes, we need to take the what the fuck parrot out after this segment. They decided to throw a huge party to celebrate this. They killed a cow. There was beer, and there was banda music. But the girl, I mean, she's only 15. She's like, I'm not marrying this guy. So she escaped. And you know what happened next? They found the 15-year-old girl and they put her in jail. They put her in jail for not wanting to marry. I mean, the parents of the groom were all offended. They're like, we've already spent all this money on this party, and your 15-year-old has eloped, and they threw her in jail. Oh my God. Cute the parrot.
What the fuck? Jerry.
Yeah. I mean, oh my God, I came back double. I didn't mean to do that. I I am just speechless when I saw this. I can't believe this happens in my own country. It's embarrassing. It is crazy. Fortunately, DEEF, which is the organization throughout Mexico that handles these kinds of family development situations, went in and took the daughter into custody. But I have no words. I just have no words other than to say it is time to look at the weather. I hope you enjoyed all the eye rolling business going on today. It's so funny because all these news items coincided. Cindy says, I pity this young girl. Well, I pity the whole situation. I mean, yeah, I it's just sad. It's just sad. Um, let us let us head over to the weather forecast just to see if we need to continue rolling our eyes. And then I have a couple of surprise treats and a little bit of show and tell. Convince 108 friends to purchase me or endure bad luck for 4 years, 8 months, 15 days, 16 hours, 23 minutes, and 42 seconds. Oh dear. Okay, well, that's what snarky weather wants. What can I say? All I want is to know our weather forecast, and it goes like this: 27 degrees right now. Feels like 27. Ooh, humidity is low at 41. And I have to be careful when I move my hands because one of my show and tell things is prickly. Yes, I brought a prickly thing. And for those of you that are still stuck to Fahrenheit, I have news for you: 80 degrees. Our weather forecast: humid and partly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 21. Tomorrow, Friday, we begin our weekend with a mostly cloudy day, a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 22. And on Saturday will be partly cloudy through the day with a high temperature of 30, low temperature of 19. Ah, my head hurts from all that eye rolling. And of course, it doesn't. I'm just making that up. Um, good news. There's going to be a mascot race. In Spanish, we call these mascots botargas. And there's going to be a botarga race on the Malecón this coming Sunday to benefit Canica or Centro de Apoyo a Niños con Cáncer or Center to Support Children with Cancer. Every year, they organize a series of events that include cutting your hair to support a child that has cancer. Of course, I couldn't participate on that, but I'm all excited about the mascot race, and I'm going to level up with you, although some of you know that I'm freaky this way. If my favorite botarga or mascot participates in this race, I'm going to just die and go to heaven because, as it turns out, I have a crush on a very specific botarga or mascot. Every time I run into this particular mascot, I have to get off the car. I have to stop walking and I just have to hug him because I think he's adorable and I have this very well documented. Check this out. Yes, I have. Come on, focus on my photograph. Ah, there you go. I have a crush on Dr. Simi. Everywhere I go, I see Dr. Simi and I just my heart flutters. I just love Dr. Whoops, sorry, microphone. My heart flutters and there you go. I've leveled with you. I have revealed a deep personal secret. Why am I obsessed with Dr. Simi? I have no clue. But I love Dr. Simi. So if you see me um, hugging Dr. Simi out and about, just don't hold it against me. And yes, it is kind of a furry fetish, says Roland, but it's not a sexual one. It's not like I get a boner whenever I see him, but it's just something that I have to do. Um, let's see. Oh, this is another one that is. This is not eye rolling. I'm going to do what I offered to do, and then I'm going to offer a little bit of commentary. Where do I do that? I do that here. A friend of mine and a cluster follower asked that I mention some of the workshops and classes that are going on at Biblioteca Los Mangos. Do you even know that Puerto Vallarta has its own library? Do you know that they offer courses? Do they know that they have offerings for English speakers and Spanish speakers? If you don't, I'm not going to hold it against you, because for better or worse, the library has not been very effective at conveying their offerings. And this is really unfortunate, and that's on them. The sad part of that is that there are a number of teachers working there. And of course, if the library is not promoting the offerings that the teachers are offering, then the teachers are not going to be as successful in their courses. Of course, when you teach a course at the library, and I know this from personal experience, some of the money goes to the teachers, some of the money goes to the library, which makes perfect sense. So if the library is failing to better promote their offerings, that is definitely on the library. But nothing keeps the instructors from tooting their own horn and promoting their own courses, like some of the teachers at arts. What is the name of the art center in Colonia Emiliano Zapata? I forget. At Art Vallarta, some of the teachers at Art Vallarta are very proactive in promoting their own courses, in tooting their own horn. So if teachers are not tooting their own horn at Biblioteca Los Mangos, that is on them, not on the library, and that's just my humble opinion. The bottom line is, we have a library. There are offerings for folks that speak Spanish. There are offerings by folks that speak English. I'm going to leave you with the bookmark, and I'm going to hope that the instructors at the library will take their own responsibility and be more proactive at promoting. I mean, with all the tools that we have at our disposal, from social media to video to this, that, and the other, I think it is a little bit of everyone's responsibility to reinvent ourselves, given the circumstances in which we may find ourselves in. Enough preaching for today, but not before I give you an update that you didn't ask for. Do you remember my penis cactus? And I called him my penis cactus because he had two little balls, two little protrusions. Well, I wanted you to know, in case you care, and I know you don't, but just if you happen to care, I haven't killed it. And now it's a multi-ball chingadera creation that just has testicles, and it has breasts, and it has tumors, and it's growing sideways. It's growing sideways, just like Bill Clinton. Or so they say. Why do I know? Bill Clinton. Okay, I'm done. I am done. I am so done. It's not even funny. Let us take a quick look at your comments. And I hope there's a lot of juicy comments. And I hope you put a lot of Q's in front of your comments. Otherwise, I'm just going to assume that you are talking among yourselves. Although let me get rid of this cactus, because if my hands start moving, I'm going to be hurt. And I'm the one to be hurt by my cactus. Thank you, Liz. I forgot to mention that I put out another podcast yesterday. I was in that kind of frame of mind, and I picked up a podcast which I titled "Two Mexican Songs That Are More Hateful Than They Sound." And this actually came from you, because we were talking about criminals a few days ago, and one of you said two-legged rats, and that reminded me of Paquita la del Barrio's very popular song Rata de Dos Patas, which is a disgustingly angry song against men. And I figured, well, let me pair this with another angry Mexican song. And I found Grupo Pesados, Ojalá que te mueras, which translates into I hope you die. And both songs have something in common. They have very perky, very happy music. But when you read the lyrics, you're like, oh my God, this is not happy music at all. So that is what my latest podcast is about. I put the address on the Facebook page yesterday, and I will put it in today's show notes in case you want to listen to it. Thank you very much for that comment, Liz. Again, I'm glad that somebody's listening. It's still a pilot program. We'll see if we continue flying with it or not. There was an interesting question here from Den. Does Mexico have any type of celebration like Thanksgiving? We don't. We don't. We say thanks in Mass every time we go to Mass. That is part of the Catholic tradition. And let us remember that Thanksgiving, for better or worse, began as an act of religious thankfulness, as far as I understand my U.S. history, but I could be wrong there. We don't have any type of celebration like Thanksgiving. When I first came here from the United States, I continued to celebrate Thanksgiving as much as I could because for me, it's kind of like one of those universal thanks kind of thing. But then it occurred to me, I find more nurtured and I try to be more nurturing by being grateful every single day. So Thanksgiving continues to be important to me personally, but I like to be thankful on every single day. Let's see what else we have. Dee-da-dee-da-da. Buenos dias, Paco. Happy Thanksgiving. That had a cue, so I'm going to react and respond. Happy Thanksgiving to you, Tony. Thank you very much. Let's see. No American football for me. No, give me sweaty football players anytime, though. Woo! Yes, yes. This is interesting to me. It's not for me to comment on this. Thanksgiving in this era of cancel culture has become an interesting celebration, and we have our version of that. I mean, when we think, who conquered whom in the Tenochtitlan versus the Spanish War here in Mexico, things get complicated. But for better or for worse, let us just be grateful for what we have. Thank you for that, Glee. I am always mindful when I get snarky or get bitchy without thinking, and when my buttons get pushed and I lash. And I know that it's not a pretty picture, but I give you two choices. You could have a completely 100% forever perky me, or you can have the real deal. If you say to me, Paco, just be perky all the time and don't ever get angry or don't ever react, then I'll be happy to be that person too. I may have to pursue other medication, but I'll be happy to be that person. Tony's looking forward to Pitillal Day, which means I will spend my whole afternoon today taking photos over there. I appreciate this forum, and your broadcasts aren't a free-for-all to use as their personal drama and unrelated questions for living as a local. I'm going to level with you, and if this particular person thinks I'm being snarky, then fuck it, But when you are in your early 20s and you're excited to move here and you've never been here before and you're moving tomorrow, and the first question that comes out of your mouth is, where are the bars? I'm sorry, I'm not fucking buying it. I'm not buying it. We drink and I drink. Of course, I want to know where the bars are. But the question was as unspecific as it gets. And how sad that you are moving here and that you've entered this broadcast where we try to create all kinds of connections, from really stupid ones to really wholesome, cultural, significant ones. And the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, where are the bars? Sorry, not for me. Let's see. Da-dee-da-da-da-da. Let's see. Oh, let me go back here to this. Buenos dias from immigration offices in Puerto Mágico. Unless you want to lose a day and a half, Don't be like me and watch your immigration ID like a hawk. You never know when it might walk off. I know that Logan has a great story to tell about his immigration papers. Would you like me to interview Logan about this? If so, and if you find yourself in want and need of details about what happens when you lose your immigration papers, I can interview Logan, and I'll be happy to do that if you write the word Logan in your comments. So there. And Logan, Muffin, Papi, my dear friend, I am so glad that you got it resolved. There you go. Let's see what else. Uh, 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 uh. Do 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 do. Lots of comments, not a lot of cues, but it is good to see that you guys are happy and thankful. Michal says, as a full time pedestrian here in Versalles, I appreciate wide new sidewalks. Thank you. That makes two of us. Um, oh, oh my God. This one caught me by surprise. I'm sorry. They might like the wide sidewalks as the caca water spills over. Thank you for making me cough, Cindy. Much appreciated. I love it. I love it. Tony makes a comment. La Junta Vecinal of my colonia, Emiliano Zapata, is useless and corrupt. I have no comments to confirm or deny. And that's all I'm going to say, Tony. Again, when we talked about Amapas, we praise the Amapas Neighborhood Association because they are just truly awesome. And every neighborhood association in the city should model themselves after them. That's all I can say. Lots of comments about the eye rolling segments. I'm so happy that you were amused. Thanks for clarifying the Los Tules. Isn't that silly? And you guys, a bunch of you made the same comment. What a difference a day makes. And so I'm going to acknowledge each and every one of you because yeah. And Catherine, I'm glad you're here because I know that you and I have had this conversation. And the other day, Catherine was telling me about some nice tourists from Guadalajara that were near her house, which happens to be very close to Michael's Siam PV restaurant in Avenida de los Tules. And the poor tourists were trying to find Freddy's Toucan, which was, 15-minute walk away, no big deal. But, why make things complicated for locals and tourists? Let's see. I did take the what the fuck parrot out. So there you have it. This is the ultimate eye rolling segment. Is that legal? Well, I don't think we're breaking any laws by rolling our eyes. That is too funny. When will these sexist and masochist traditions stop? That is such a great question, Kimberly. It's sad. It's just, and it comes from tradition, and it comes from lack of enlightenment and education, or as Tony says, ignorance of my people. I don't know about the second half of that comment. Again, we try not to trash other cultures here. We're going to concern ourselves with trashing our own because we can. But yes, there is a lot of ignorance in situations like that. How very sad. Silly question, but school me. Is this even legal? Arranged marriage in Mexico? No. And number two, she's only 15. Well, I don't know what the legal age of marriage is in Mexico, to be perfectly honest, but it's just crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. A double Q. Wait. They know who killed Aristoteles, but they have failed to arrest him? When are they planning on doing so, I wonder? Well, sorry, Matthew. The criminal must be hiding very well. Lynn has a comment. I went to El Oasis del Holy and happy to report there was no loud music and had a delightful afternoon. Carlos said he owes you a beer. I don't know who Carlos is, Lynn, but we love El Oasis del Holy. I have two favorite getaways when I want to be just chilling. One of them is El Moro Paraíso up in El Jorullo, and the other one is El Oasis del Holy. It's a new discovery. um, and I'm glad that you had a great time. And I don't know who Carlos is, but next time I go, I'll ask for Carlos and I'll get my free beer. So there. Uh, oh, Veronica. Wait. No, 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 no. He's mine. I'm sorry. I don't care if you have a crush on Dr. Simi. Do you have proof of your relationship with him? No, you don't. And if you do, I want to see your evidence. Dr. Simi is all mine. So there. Let's see. Jonathan makes it complicated. I know a real life doctor here in PV who looks a little bit like Dr. Simi. I am afraid. Roland didn't know about the library. Unfortunately, Roland, I am not surprised. You didn't know, Michal, that they have a cafe. Unfortunately, I'm not surprised. Where is the library, por favor? I will put it on the show notes, Lynn, and it's a great resource. They have free internet. They have a place to sit. They have area for kids. You wouldn't know it because they don't do their share, and that is just absolutely unfortunate. It's 1 block away from Costco, and you'll find out in the show notes. They redesigned their website. It looks great. Good for them. But again, if you don't spread the word, you know. Oh. Pelotas de amor, says Roland about my ballsy cactus. Of course, they're love balls. Thank you very much. Karen has been wondering about the penis. You may recall I had a penis plant back there, and unfortunately, a wind draft destroyed it. And let's see what else we have. Albert says, I love the eye roll segments. You know, I have thought about a different idea, Albert. You guys tell me what you think. There are a lot of news that I run into that make my eyes roll, and I don't do anything about them just because they make my eyes roll. Then I thought to myself, maybe we should have like a weekly eye rolling segment where we look back at all the crazy what the fuck things that we saw. And that would be kind of like a weekly review. And that's still something up for grabs. And then there was today. Everything just seemed to indicate that today had to be eye rolling day. And I'm glad you guys enjoyed yourselves. Oh, you guys are out of control. Oh, Julie, I knew there's a reason why I like you. Not a cactus expert, but I know a prick when I see one. I tell you, I hear you. John, was it you that brought up the ratón con dos patas? If so, let me know. Let me know because I want to make sure that you can get to the podcast. Getting to the podcast is tricky because it includes the musical sections. So that means that you can only find it and enjoy it on Spotify. But I have discovered that if you're on a Mac or you're on a PC, you can install a Spotify application and you can enjoy them on your computers as well. Obviously, you can have Spotify on your phone or your tablet. So there you have it. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. I apologize ahead of time if this is the wrong forum for my question, but why are all the bras I find in the stores padded? And where can I find an unpadded one? Marie, I love you. I love you. You know, this is a perfect forum for this. I mean, this is a perfect forum for this question. This is a perfect question for this forum. Personally, I I like the padded bras because they help accentuate my figure. I always wear padded bras. Where would I find unpadded ones? Well, I've seen unpadded bras at the mercado. I'm sorry, I'm going to take this seriously because, I'm sure you take your bosom very seriously. I don't know where to find them. I have seen unpadded bras of very bright colors at the Libramiento Tianguis, And I you have to be able to buy unpadded bras at the stores. Are you sure you're well, I'm sure you're looking for them. But please, cluster, help a damsel in distress, help Marie and help her find unpadded bras. I don't shop for mine, but there you go. There you go. Let's see what else we have. Brad was kind enough to advance the website for the biblioteca, but again, you'll have it in the show notes. Uh, uh, Interesting. Back to the comment about people not being as savvy. Me personally, I can't get up the nerve to post things on social media. Struggle with putting myself out there in that way. Like I said, sounds like another course idea. I will I want to be as empathic as I can about this. It is unfortunate, Roland, that a lot of social media has become very unkind. And I cannot disagree with you on this fact that sometimes it's difficult to bring up the nerve to say something. Um, and I know that sometimes I get out of hand when the questions are kind of like stupid or silly. But my in self defense, we have been very clear at stating that what our goal is here and who we cater to. So, of course, if somebody comes in here disguised as a local, but really being a tourist, and the question is kind of not very smart, of course, we might get a little tense. But, you know, you won me, Roland, by simply saying sometimes I cannot get up the nerve. And I very much appreciated when we saw the question from Marie, because she's like, I apologize ahead of time if this is the wrong forum. I think that is, Marie, aside from the padded bra incident, I often start my comments by saying, I apologize if this has been asked before, whenever I post here or there. And I always end my comments by saying, I thank you in advance for your help. So, my wish for you, Roland, is that you're safe wherever you are. Nobody's going to come find you at your home and burn it because you asked a question that was improper. There are some forums that are very snarkier than Coffee and Headlines. Let me tell you. I mean, we are pretty easy to get along with compared to some Puerto Vallarta forums I've seen out there. Lord have mercy. But my wish for you, Roland, is that you empower yourself and you realize that yes, you will find some people that are nasty, and sometimes that nastiness will tend to eclipse the the nourishment that you get from people that are like-minded. I have, for what it's worth, Roland, I've enjoyed every single one of your comments, and I have appreciated every single one of them. Um, and I was really tickled the other day when you said, I know I'm asking a lot of questions. Well, that is what this forum is for. Mind you, I mean, if you ask a question that is as open ended as, tell me the best grocery store, it's a city of 350,000 people that spreads through many, 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 many kilometers. So it might be difficult to find a specific answer without more information. But feel free to ask as much and comment as much as you want here. Nice walk yesterday. Not long at all. Very good perspective. That helps me a lot, Michael, because again, I don't want the walks to become boring. So I appreciate that very much. Okay, I know what this is about. This is about a coffee date at Los Mangos Library. I'm almost tempted to crash that. Let's see what else. Albert says we want the real deal. Thank you very much. Thank you for giving me and allowing me to keep my humanity and to acknowledge the fact that I am as flawed as anybody else. Uh, let's see what else we have. Oh, Logan interview. Logan. Log on. Logan. Yes, please to interviewing Logan. Muffin, I think we have some work cut out. We'll wait till your parents leave because I know that Logan is spending a lot of quality time with his parents. Look at all the people that love Logan. I love Logan. Logan is such a treasured friend for me. He has made my life. I've known Logan for over 10 years now, I think. But just during the pandemic, life has become so full of sunshine and radiance because Logan is in my life. There you go. I've said it. As a Mexican, I don't welcome these kind of people. I also drink and smoke, but there are other things to do in your city. Um, Thank you, Tony. I don't know what topic this relates to because I'm not reading the comments in sequence, but 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 I hear you. Oh, I think this has to do with the person that was asking about the bars. Yeah, nothing wrong about asking that, but even bars. I mean, I could end up recommending a gay fetish bar, and if you are a woman, you may not feel yourself comfortable there. I may recommend a dance bar, but if you are old, it may not be for you. I may recommend. Well, you know what I'm getting at. Um, I would love to see an interview with Logan talking about anything, and then Logan says, "Well, not anything." This is true. This is true because you give my beloved Logan a couple of raicillas, and okay, too much information. We will talk about immigration, and we will do a little shady dish. Logan and I were already talking about this as a matter of fact. So this is absolutely wonderful. Back up everything I say with facts. I've had negative experiences with these useless junta. Okay, so this I think this relates back to the junta, the neighborhood association in Emiliano Zapata. This is unfortunate, Tony. This is really unfortunate because when people are not effective, when people are selfish, they are what they are, and I can't believe we're just rambling. It's 11:22, but there's still 55 of you here. 58. I'm sorry. We're almost done. I promise. Um, Tony says this has been a great show with great topic. As long as you're entertained. Oh, the brass, the brass. Mihal says she brought enough from the last trip. Can you try brass on at the store? I don't know because I've never had to try one on. But I mean, if what I would do is I would order them through Amazon unless you have to try them. But I don't even know if trying bras is hygienic and even allowed. Um, let's see what else we have. Uh, I see what you're saying. Roland says social media is definitely toxic. Just saying that for the librarians and trying to self promote. I think it's harder than it may seem. Well, this is why we don't talk a lot about nonprofits here at Coffee and Headlines, Roland. Um, and sometimes we don't talk a lot about musicians. I personally, and I could be wrong on this one. I personally think that if I'm a musician, I have the responsibility of knowing what to do on stage, but I also have to have the responsibility of knowing how to let people know that I exist. And if I don't know how to do the latter, I need to partner with somebody that does. So if the library is not knowing how to self promote, like a lot of nonprofits don't know how to self promote, isn't that part of the toolkit that these organizations should consider? That's just my own open ended question. We don't need to get into a big discussion, but it's my food for thought. Uh, let's see what else. La 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 la. La 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 la. Where are the bars? Is a trying to be nice, ridiculous question for this forum? Well, I think we've beat that horse. All I can find is padded jockey shorts. Where can you get padded ones? Now, David. Now. No, the bra situation is legitimate. You can get padded underwear for men at Liverpool. I've seen it there. I learned more in the libraries than I did in school. I love libraries. That's for your input on various topics. Okay. And the last one here, Logan is a very intelligent person. If he wasn't, we wouldn't be friends. And I love Logan because he's both intelligent and silly as all hell. And the last one for today, yes, I am correct. Thank you. Promotion marketing is part of the toolkit. Thank you again. Woof! Almost an hour, and I didn't mean to go this long, but I appreciate the fact that 58 of you are still getting something out of the broadcast. Always thankful. Not just today on American Thanksgiving, but always thankful. And if I forget to be thankful, you have your authorization, my authorization to slap me with your hand or whatever body part you wish to slap me with. Enough! We're out of here. I'll see you tomorrow. We'll walk Pitiyal. We'll talk about Pitiyal and we will ruffle more feathers. But hey, it comes with a territory, doesn't it?